7 stages of a relationship.
Stage 1, passion.
Hi, I'm Bec from Be Free Emotional Fitness Training, and I support women and girls to become emotionally stronger.
And I'm Vern from Move Forward Mentoring, and I specialise in male mentoring, helping boys and men find their passion, speak from their heart, and build better relationships.
And together we are rekindling relationships. We work with couples through mentoring sessions as well as facilitating communication and creative workshops to build deeper connections.
Welcome to our podcast, designed to help you strengthen and bring more fun into your partnership, as well as create a more loving, healthy, and strong connection. Hey everyone, welcome back.
How you doing?
So we're on to our next series of 7 things. We've got a little bit of a roll on here where we like to do little seasons. I think it makes it a lot easier for us as parents to actually just sit down and do a block at a time rather than try just smash it out rather than actually doing it weekly. We don't ever really get the time just to go, this week, let's sit down and do a podcast.
Yeah. So this is our thing. It's all in sets of 7, isn't it?
Yeah. And for this series, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the 7 stages of relationships, starting with the first one, which is stage 1, passion.
Yes, that's the exciting one.
Tell me all about passion.
It's the obvious one, isn't it? When you're infatuated with someone, there's nothing wrong with them.
No, they can pretty much do anything.
They're amazing.
They're amazing.
You
They're
make everyone stick around you because you're like talking about how awesome they are.
That's what you did for me, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did that too. I was just like, oh my goodness, Bec's amazing. Lucky me.
You're still in that stage though, aren't you?
Yeah, of course, obviously, yes.
Okay, good.
Yes, haven't moved out of that.
Sheesh.
That first stage, that can last for a while, isn't it?
Yeah,
like 6
interesting.
months,
I was looking up that and it varies, obviously. It can be like a couple of weeks for some people.
Oh, that's quick. Before the wheels fall off.
That's true. That would be really depressing, wouldn't it? If someone was only into you for like a couple of weeks. Then they started noticing all the things that weren't right about you.
Well, they probably weren't right at all. I mean, that's it. Maybe that's a realization. It's like, hang on a second. And that's probably a good thing, isn't it, if that comes up earlier rather than later?
Yeah, true. To a couple of months, to 6 months, to a couple of years, apparently.
So maybe we are still in the honeymoon stage then. But passion is something which obviously doesn't last, as you say, but when it's in your life, that first stage is amazing, isn't it?
It's addictive because there's that dopamine release. And that's when people sometimes get addicted to this first stage because it's always super exciting and super fun. And so quite often people get stuck in this first stage.
When all of a sudden it gets a little bit difficult, or when there's maybe moving into that deeper commitment, then they go, hang on a second, I thought this was supposed to be all love and rainbows.
Yeah. It's actually that real teenager-like stage, isn't it? Where, teenagers are in and out of relationships within a month or two and they're always in that infancy stage.
Yeah, they're always in that sort of, this makes me feel really good.
Yeah, and that's quite addictive. So I think that's why sometimes people get stuck in that first stage. I think this too is known as the stage where love is blind. This is like a stage where sometimes we might be with someone who's not the right person and our family or our friends might go, what are you doing with this person? But it's known as the love is blind stage. You won't particularly see all these things that somebody else will see for you.
Isn't that interesting that our friends and our family will see it straight away, and for some reason we actually don't take their ideas or their views into account, even though they know us better than anyone else. They probably know who's right for us.
Because we're behind that dopamine.
Yeah, behind the dopamine. It's interesting. I was talking to one of my clients who is Indian, and he's gone from a love marriage, which went to pieces and which was a complete mess, to an arranged marriage with another woman who was Indian, where the parents actually did everything and organized it and put them together. And he's like, this is amazing. She's wonderful. They actually know better what's better for me than what I do myself. And I thought, that sort of makes sense. Rather than a lot of us who are out there trying to find the right person and not knowing who that right person is and making mistakes, actually checking in with friends and family and saying, okay, I really like this person. What do you think?
Yeah. And I think that's a stage where they recommend not making big decisions. Even some people have been together just like a month or two and they're like, oh my God, we're going to move in. They're amazing.
And that might work for some people, but probably statistics or research
wait for that stage to simmer down a little bit.
Wait till you've actually spent some time really getting to know them. And I think in that first stage of that passion is the opportunity to really learn more about that person as well. And if you get to know that person better and you have really good conversations and even listen to our other podcasts like Alphabet Soup or The Ways We Are Different, there are lots of little things in there that you can do, ways to communicate with each other to really find out, is this the right person?
The 8 dates is great.
Yeah,
it has those questions that, you know, you can get to know them a bit deeper without being a bit blinded by the passion.
Especially if we haven't been in a relationship for a while. I think when we step into a new relationship and it all seems amazing, we can get really swept up in it without really being clear, is this actually my person? Is this the person who I want to be hanging out with all the time?
Yeah.
And do I really know much about this person as well? Like, I think at first the conversations might be quite light and there might not be a lot of talking anyway. There might be just the passion.
I think that's what happens.
You think that's what happened? There's just a passion going on and nothing else.
And then that's maybe when people realize there's not much more substance to it
than the passion.
Yeah.
Which is okay for a little while, but really, if you want to be in a relationship, that's very different than just sleeping together.
Yeah, you have to go through these next stages, don't you, to get to that
exactly
7th stage.
Yeah.
7th stage.
7th stage. Or even you have to go through the understanding that passion should always be part of your relationship, but it's only one layer to your relationship.
This is also something I find comes up for couples years later where they're like, we used to be so passionate and in love and, you know, those first few months when we were together, we were so into each other. I think you have to also accept that it's okay to move from this stage. We work on having passion in our relationship and keeping it romantic, but it's different. It's got more depth to it. And it's never going to be that first stage where the dopamine hits in and love is blind and there's birds chirping and love is in the air. And I think that's okay to be...
What's this about the birds chirping?
I mean, I'm still in that phase though.
Are there birds in the room? Is that what you hear while the passion's going on?
Yeah. Rainbows and lollipops. And I think that we have to be okay with our relationship moving on to the next stages because this is a vital part of your relationship growing.
And maybe if you're looking back and saying, hey, you know, we're listening to you because we want to rekindle our relationship. We want to get back some of that passion, that we had from the stage one. Maybe it's going back to thinking about what it was that you really loved about that person in that first stage. What was it that got that person?
And date each other again. But what I'm saying is it's never going to be like it was way back in the beginning because that's just part of the process.
But it should be better.
Yeah, it should be.
That's the reality. It should be relevant. If you have the opportunity to go deeper in trust and commitment with your partner and feel really solid in that,
it's better.
Yeah,
it's a safer, deeper connection that's much better than that when you're infatuated and love is just in its infancy.
Maybe you're in that first stage right now, or you're hoping to step into a relationship with someone, or you're moving into that first space. And you're starting to get that passion going and you're feeling it and you're like, oh, I love this person, I want to be with this person. This is really a good opportunity to actually see how much deeper you can go. And I speak as a man who's probably in the past, the passionate side of thing is only focused on the physical and a physical passion with a person, with a woman. Now I know that I'm so much older and wiser. that passion actually is deepened through that person feeling that you are not just in that space because you want to sleep with them. You're in that space because you actually want to be with them. You want to know them. You want to hang out with them. You like them as a person. And you're trying to connect with them. You're actually looking to connect with them, not just physically. And that understanding allows you to bring more into that space. It probably allows that relationship to deepen quicker when you step into it and you give more into that space.
That safety is important in that connection deepening.
But after we move through passion, then we step into discovery. discovery of each other.
So please join us next time for
Stage 2, discovery.
Thanks for listening. Please subscribe and follow us.
And check out our website at rekindlingrelationships.com.
Bye for now.
See ya.